Hello, everybody. I'm Richard Osman. Welcome back to the House of Games. I'm joined all week by four very, very competitive, famous faces. They're all playing a series of quiz rounds in an attempt to win this House of Games trophy. Let's meet this week's players. We have Angela Scanlon, Mr. Clive Myrie, Sara Pascoe, and Rick Edwards. Welcome back, everybody. It really has been quite competitive. Should we take a little look at the leaderboard this week so far? We've had 2 days of competition. This is day 3. This is where we stand. Looking for a late surge from Angela Scanlon in fourth place with 3 points. Clive, you had 5, Sara 6. Rick Edwards with 8 points. Rick, you've won both shows so far. How does that make you feel?
I feel absolutely fantastic, Richard.
You must do.
I barely slept last night. Just the adrenaline coursing through my veins.
Sara, you've been second twice now.
Yep.
What can you do today just to take that one step further?
I can do better.
Do one better?
Better.
That's all you can do. Clive,
Yeah.
you were winning the last show. You were winning right up to the last minute.
Tripped at the final hurdle, man.
Blew it in that final round.
Yeah.
Now, we've already seen Rick has already won 2 daily prizes. You won the House of Games bathrobe on Monday.
Yes, I did.
You won a House of Games towel yesterday. Should we take a look at what we're playing for today?
Oh, yes.
There's a House of Games lamp. Who wouldn't want that? House of Games binoculars, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodness me.
Impressive.
House of Games water bottle. House of Games shoehorn. And a House of Games golf umbrella. I mean, if that is incentive to win,
That's
right?
quality gear, man.
The big incentive, Angela Scanlon, is for anybody to beat Rick Edwards, right?
Yeah, take that smug little look off his face.
I mean, listen, we know Rick Edwards behind the scenes. He's
Yeah.
actually a fundamentally decent man. But the second he gets in front of here with his buzzer and all that kind of
veneer.
stuff...
The decency goes out of the window.
Come on. Operation Let's Beat Rick Edwards. It
Right.
begins here.
Okay.
Shall we play our first round?
Yes.
OK, here we go. Let's play... The answers in the question. Each of you is going to see a sentence. Within that sentence, part of it is capitalised. And the clever thing is, we have very clever question writers here, those capitals are an anagram of the answer. As always with these rounds, it's simple once you see it. Angela, we're going to start with you. Shall we see your first question? The first category, so you'll each get a question on this. Shakespeare plays. So the answer will be in the question. If you do get it wrong, as always, you guys can buzz in. Let's take a look, shall we? This tragedy opens with the title character dividing his realm between his regal kin. So the answer to that question is an anagram of those capitals. This tragedy opens with the title character dividing his realm between his regal kin.
King Lear.
It is indeed. Well played, Angela Scanlon. Clive Myrie, here is yours. Don't forget the answer is in the question. This rotten anaconda play ends with the heroine using a snake to poison herself. This rotten anaconda play ends with the heroine using a snake to poison herself. Pascoe poised. Oh. Edwards poised. Scanlon sitting back thinking about a holiday.
It's a nice place. We're going.
I'm going to have to...
Merchant of Venice.
It is not, I'm afraid. Clive, you are frozen out. Sara Pascoe.
Antony Cleopatra.
It is indeed. Well played.
Well done. Well done.
Here's your next one. In this play, Leontes sends his lords across the silent water to the Isle of Delphos.
It is A Winter's Tale.
I'm going to give you that. It's The Winter's Tale.
Yeah,
That's it.
good.
Very impressive. Rick Edwards, here is yours. This play's writer somehow finds very many ways to embarrass its lead character, Sir John Falstaff. This play's writer somehow finds very many ways to embarrass its lead character, Sir John Falstaff.
I don't know it.
Yeah, Rick, you're frozen out. That is Sara Pascoe.
Mary, I'm so excited I can't speak. The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Is the right answer, Sara Pascoe. Very well played. I think Clive knew that one as well.
I did.
You beat them to the buzzer. The next category is historical figures. Angela, you are first. Angel of the Reclining might have been a good nickname for this 19th century nursing pioneer and social reformer. Angel of the Reclining might have been a good nickname for this 19th century nursing pioneer and social reformer.
Florence Nightingale.
Is the correct answer, Angela. Well played. Clive is your second one.
Right.
Ye pump sales may have increased dramatically after the Great Fire of London, witnessed by this diarist. Ye pump sales may have increased dramatically after the Great Fire of London, witnessed by this diarist.
That would be Pepys, Samuel Pepys.
Samuel Pepys is the correct answer. Clive, well played. I like the way you said it in the way that if it wasn't, you didn't sound too bad. You kind of go, yes, Samuel Pepys. Sarah, it's been a good round for you so far, hasn't it?
It's been all right.
Let's hope it continues here. This playwright was riding high in Victorian society until his private life drew social criticism and he was thrown in Reading jail.
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde, is that right? Is indeed. Well done, Oscar Wilde. Edwards,
Osman.
here's yours. Casual juries would never have convicted this Roman general, so his enemies decided to take more drastic action.
Julius Caesar.
Is the correct answer. Very nice end to the round from Rick Edwards. Well played. Shall we take a look at the score at the end of our first round? With 1 point tied, Clive Myrie and Rick Edwards. Angela Scanlon on 2 in second place. In first place, Sara Pascoe with 4. Shall we play round 2? Shall we get onto it straight away?
Yeah.
And today our next game is Dim Sums. Now this is a pairs game. As always, we choose the person in last place to go in their pairs. Rick and Clive, you are both last, but Rick, you chose a partner last time. I'm going to ask Clive who we'd like to partner up with in this one.
It's got to be the man.
You fancy that?
Lovely.
We have our pairs. In this round, you will need general knowledge and basic arithmetic. The first thing I'm going to do, gentlemen, you going first, I'm going to bring you up 4 categories.
Yeah.
I need you to choose one for me. Moons, winners, transport, or Wimbledon.
Winners?
Yeah.
That's a confident choice.
Yeah.
The gents are going for winners. What I'm going to do now is show you a sum. And your sum today is this. Something multiplied by something else equals 18. I'm now going to show you 4 options to help you fill in that sum. You've got to choose the right 2 options. Number of Best Actor Oscars won by Daniel Day-Lewis. Number of times Hilary Mantel has won the Man Booker Prize. Number of Brit Awards won by Adele. And number of Premier League Manager of the Month awards won by Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, 2 of those answers will complete that sum.
Okay, so Day-Lewis has won 3 Best Oscars.
Yeah.
Hilary Mantel has won 2
2 Booker
Bookers.
Prizes.
Adele, I don't know.
Well, she will have won Best Newcomer, Best Female, Best Album. I mean, she's going to have won a few. She's not going to have won 9. I mean, Ferguson Manager of the Month Awards, he could easily have won 18.
He could.
He's going to have won it, I think, more than 6 times.
I think so.
So I would probably go...
So you're thinking Daniel Day-Lewis has won, you're thinking
3.
3. You
Yeah.
think
I think
that Hilary
Mantel
Mantel
has won 2.
has won 2.
Adele, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it might be. It could be 6, couldn't
So
it?
you're looking for a 6 or a 9.
Mantel Ferguson.
Yeah. We're going to go with Mantel times Ferguson.
Hilary Mantel and Alex Ferguson. Let's take a look. So Hilary Mantel, how many times has she won the Booker Prize? Let's fit in this sum. 2 times.
Ooh, I like that.
So you need Ferguson to have won
We'd
a Manager
love
of the Month
Ferguson
award
9, yeah.
9 times in his 25 years. Let's take a look. How many times did Alex Ferguson win the Manager of the Month award? 27 times, I'm afraid. So that adds up to 54, I think.
Yeah.
If it had been your question, what would you have gone for?
Mantel by Adele.
Mantel multiplied by Adele. Let's take a look at the other answers. Absolutely right. Mantel by Adele would have been the correct answer. 3 for Daniel Day-Lewis, as you said. 2 for Hilary Mantel, 9 for Adele. I don't know if you got that at home. Angela, Sarah, do you want to choose a category, please? Moons, transport, or Wimbledon?
I don't know anything about Wimbledon, unless it's like wombles rather than the tennis.
Yeah.
And I still don't really know. So should we go for transport? Does that
Okay.
feel vague enough for us to be able to guess a thing?
Yeah,
Today,
let's
yeah.
go transport.
Yeah.
OK, let's take a look at your sum. Something multiplied by something equals 39. Here are your 4 options. Can you fill in that sum with 2 of these, please? The speed in miles per hour that the DeLorean has to reach in order to time travel in Back to the Future.
Okay.
Number of wheels on a penny farthing. platform from which
Yeah.
the Hogwarts Express departs King's
Nice.
Cross,
OK.
and the number of engines on an Airbus A340.
So we know that wheels on a penny farthing is 2.
Yeah.
In terms of the DeLorean speed, miles per hour, it's not going to be under 39.
Hogwarts, I feel, is 13.
Oh, it's not 13.
Is it not?
It's in between 2 platforms.
Of
It's the wall.
course.
I'm sure it's 10.5, unless I'm an absolute idiot. If I'm an idiot who can't remember a children's book, I hate myself. So
Might
how
work.
many times 10.5 would you need to get to 39? Oh, 3/4. Is it 9 3/4? The platform. Does that sound familiar to you?
I mean, you sounded so certain when you said
did.
10.5 that
You
now.
sounded very confident. You said, no, it's 10.5.
Yeah.
Then you did a bit of stuff about being an idiot if you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Did I remember?
I remember too. The viewers remember too.
Platform 9 3/4 times 4 is 39.
So you think,
Engines on an Airbus times Hogwarts Express platform.
let's see, shall we? How many engines are there on an Airbus A340? There are 4. You did a very good bit of maths, which means if this is 9 3/4 rather than 10.5, it makes 39. Is that the platform for the Hogwarts Express? Very well played. Very nicely done. Very, very strong answer. Let's take a look at the other 2 answers. The DeLorean speed
88.
was 88, and the wheels on a penny farthing are 2, of course. Angela and Rick, if you can change back places.
Well done.
Lovely working with you.
Well done.
And let's take a look at the scores at the end of Dim Sums. 1 point for Clive, 1 point for Rick, 3 points for Angela. Sara Pascoe is our leader with 5. Well done.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Should we play another round?
Yes.
Okay. So what are we playing next? This round is in code. All of the answers in this round will be written in code, a very simple code where A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and so on. You just have to tell me what the answers are. And this round is on the buzzers. And here is your first category, farm animals. What is this animal? Spelt out in code. Rick Edwards.
Cow.
Correct answer. See how it works?
Yeah.
Here is your second one. They get harder. That is Sara Pascoe.
Sheep.
That was quick. Here is your third farm animal. Nobody? Merry Christmas, everybody. Turkey, well done if you said that at home. Here is your next category, rock bands. Can you unscramble these codes, please? Sarah.
Queen.
Good answer. It is Queen.
good
Well
with the
played.
double E.
The double fires.
Double E, yeah,
Give
yeah.
me a sheep. Give me a queen.
Category is words with double E's in them. Words with double E's. Here's your next rock band.
Aerosmith?
Yeah.
Correct answer. Well played. Aerosmith. It's your third rock band. Rick.
Metallica?
It is the right answer, Rick Evans. Well played. Here's your final category. Painters. Who are these painters, please? Rick.
Picasso.
Goodness me, that's quick. It is Picasso. Well done.
Well done, mate.
Here's your next one. Angela.
Oh, no, sorry.
Sarah.
Manet.
Is it Manet? It is indeed. Well played.
I was going to say Monet.
You want to say Monet?
Yeah. And then I was like, A and O. No, that doesn't
No.
work.
Here's your last painter. Rick.
Monet.
It is Monet, yeah. So sorry, Angela.
That's a kick in the teeth.
Well played, everybody. Let's take a look at the scores. Clive, you are still on 1 point. 4 points for Angela. Rick, Now into second place with 5 points, but still 3 points behind. Sara Pascoe on 8.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a Clive like yesterday, though. We all know you can be at the top and lose it all.
They call that doing a Clive now.
Yes. Thanks, Sarah.
It's just a word for a dreadful collapse. That's all. 2 rounds still to go. OK, what are we going to play next? Let's see. The Rich List. I like the Rich List because I get to play. OK, tablets out, everybody. I'm going to get my tablet out as well. Tell you what's going to happen in this round. I'll ask you some questions that have lots of different answers. OK? I just need you to write down a correct answer. You'll score a point. However, it has to be a unique answer. So if somebody else writes the same answer, you will lose your point.
OK.
Also, if I write the same answer, you won't get a point. OK, here is your first question. There'll be Tom Hanks films released in the 1990s. So any feature film released in the UK cinemas from 1990 to 1999 inclusive that he received an acting credit for, according to IMDb. Write down a correct answer, but also one that no one else has written. I'm trying to read your mind. I'd really like to write the same as Rick Edwards, but I will. Honestly, I'd take out any of you. I don't mind. Have a little think at home as well. Try and come up with one. See if it's one that no one here comes up with. It's tricky, isn't it? The 90s thing.
It is,
Make
yeah.
sure,
I hate this question because I love this question.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things to choose from. And then you're trying to work out logically what people would have gone for.
Yeah. Has everyone written one down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angela, a Tom Hanks film released in the 90s. What have you gone for?
Well, I kind of went for the
You've Got Mail.
obvious, yeah.
You've Got Mail. Let's
Hoping
see
that-
if that is a correct answer. Was that released in the 90s? It was indeed. Well played.
Lovely.
Clive Myrie got the face of someone else who's written You've Got Mail.
Yes.
Oh, Clive, what have you done? What a car wreck down this end. Sara Pascoe. Oh, man.
Rick,
if you've written You've Got Mail.
I'm not a team player, as you know.
Oh, he's the only one to score a point, Rick Edwards, except he isn't the only one to score a point because I am so sorry. Well, shall we take a look at all the answers that you could have had? Well done at home. If you got one that we didn't, A League of Their Own, Apollo 13, all sorts of names there. You can have a look through. Saving Private Ryan, Toy Story.
Oh,
You can
Toy
have Turner
Story.
and Hoot. Well, I tell you what, everyone got a correct answer, but no one scored a point.
OK.
Apart from people at home. Well
So
done if you
collective
did.
loser. It's not as bad.
Yeah, could be a lot
Yeah.
worse, right? Let's take a look at your next one. Write down a correct answer for this, please. Post-war British prime ministers who resigned mid-term. Anyone who left office for any reason other than losing a general election since 1945. Gosh, this is the sort of round where you'd want to be a newsreader, that sort of, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Someone that the nation trusted to tell them about the affairs of the day. Yeah, you'd want to be a Clive Myrie type in this round, I think. Has everyone put in an answer? Clive, we start with you this time.
OK.
Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Anthony Eden.
It's a classy answer.
Nice.
Is it a correct answer? It is indeed. Very well played. Very well played. Well, I hope for your sake I haven't gone for an obscure one here. The sort of person who came up with that would be quite a genius. Sara, what have you gone with?
The very classy Anthony
Oh,
Eden.
Anthony, you're kidding me. Literally, Anthony Eden has not been mentioned on television for about 40 years. Now suddenly you can't move for him. Rick Edwards, I bet you've gone obscure.
I haven't, actually.
Have
I don't
you
even know
not?
if mine is right. But I think she left mid...
Is that a right answer? It is. Well done, Rick. Sometimes the obvious ones are the better ones. Angela Scanlon. Have you gone for Anthony Eden?
I mean, I feel like this mayor...
Cameron. David Cameron. Is it correct answer?
Yeah, lovely.
Very well played. David Cameron. See, 2 of you went for an obscure one.
Yeah.
And you lost points. And 2 of you went for an obvious one and gained points, except one of you didn't.
Oh, no.
Because I went for an obvious one as well, because I thought that was the thing to do.
Right.
So I went for... I'm so sorry. I went for Mrs. Thatcher as well.
Oh, well done. Well done.
He feels a little bit guilty, though.
I really feel guilty. I thought I'd go... Yeah, anyway, there it is.
Yeah.
Should we take a look at the possible answers there? I know at home you might have said a different one. Well done if you said Anthony Eden. Tony Blair.
Oh, I was going to go with him.
Well, you got a point anyway.
Yeah, I'm OK.
Yeah, you're the only one who got one. Cameron, Churchill, Eden, Macmillan, Thatcher and Harold Wilson. Well done if you said any of those. Final question in this round. Let's take a little look. What's the category? Properties on the Monopoly board that do not contain the word street. That's just the regular classic London version of Monopoly. No stations and no utilities. Properties on the Monopoly board that do not contain the word street. It feels like there's more answers, this one.
Yeah, there's loads.
Yeah. We shouldn't really bump into each other here. Sarah, we start with you.
OK. There were so many I could have chosen from, but I've gone for the Strand.
The Strand. Is that a correct answer? Correct. Well done. I'm trying to read everybody else's faces. Rick Edwards, what have you gone for?
I've gone for... I've never played Monopoly because my dad wouldn't allow it in the house.
You've never heard of a Monopoly?
That's absolutely true.
Was it because you ruined games by being too competitive?
Too good. But yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
God, imagine if I've written the same as you this time.
Now, that would be weird.
Strictly speaking, that is a correct answer, but for the rules of the game, is that a correct answer? Not, I'm afraid. Angela Scanlon.
I fear that maybe I was working off a localised version of Monopoly. However, I've just gone with it. I feel like it may be universal. It's not universal.
Shrewsbury Road.
I can see by your... Let's see how we
I
go.
don't think that's on the original.
Ah.
Not, I'm afraid.
OK.
Clive.
I've gone for Piccadilly Circus.
Piccadilly Circus. It's Piccadilly, but I think I'll give it to you.
right,
A
OK.
correct answer. Well done.
Yay.
So, two of you have a point. Or do you?
Oh.
I know I said Piccadilly Circus, it's really Piccadilly. The reason was, Clive, because I said
Piccadilly.
Old Kent Road. Right. Well done. If you avoided Piccadilly or the Strand or Old Kent Road and said one of these, you could have had Euston Road, Leicester Square, Mayfair, Northumberland Avenue, Pall Mall, Park Lane, Pentonville Road, the Angel at Islington, Trafalgar Square, Whitechapel Road or Whitehall. Well done if you got one of those at home. Let's take a look at the scores going into our final round. Clive Myrie on 2, joint second place. Angela and Rick on 5. Sara Pascoe is our current leader on 9 points.
Here we go. Limbering up now.
Yeah. You can almost taste that House of Games shoehorn. The final round on House of Games is always the same, and it is... Answer Smash. As always, I'm going to show you a picture and give you a clue. You need to smash the two answers into each other. So, for example, if I showed you a picture of Angela and I asked you the name of the giant Ferris wheel situated on the South Bank, you would answer...
Angela Scanlon, London... No, Angela Scanlon, London Eye.
Correct. Angela Scanlon, London Eye. What's our first category? Radio DJs. So I'm going to show you pictures of radio DJs and a clue. Buzz in, get it right, you get a point. Buzz in, get it wrong, you lose a point. Sarah, you are in a 4-point lead. Do not Clive this up. Here's your first one. Which French author wrote the 1864 novel Journey to the Centre of the Earth? Rick Edwards.
Judge Jules Verne.
Is the correct answer, Rick. Well played. Judge Jules Verne. Smash them together, you get Judge Jules Verne. Here's your next one. Which word for a variety of small curved pasta tubes was also an 18th century term for an English dandy or fop? Rick Edwards.
Anna Macaroni.
Incorrect, I'm afraid. Angela Scanlon.
Annie Macaroni.
Annie Macaroni is the correct answer.
well done.
I'm so sorry. Annie Mac and Macaroni.
Yeah.
Anna Mac.
Yeah.
Here's your next one. A DJ and a clue. Which publisher, famous for its romantic literature, was launched in 1908 with the novel Arrows from the Dark? Angela.
Scott Mills and Boone.
Is it Scott Mills and Boone?
Very good.
It is indeed. Very well played. Let's take a look at your next category. Dinosaurs. I'll show you some pictures and some clues. What are the answers here, please? Which actor played Professor Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady and the title character in the 1967 film Dr. Dolittle? Rick Edwards.
Tyrannosaurus Rex Harrison?
Is the correct answer. Rick, well played. Tyrannosaurus Rex Harrison.
Nicely.
Very nice. What does the answer smash here? What is the usual English name for the food known as crème anglaise in French? Clive Myrie.
Diplodocustard.
Diplodocustard is the correct answer, Clive. Diplodocustard, however you want to pronounce it. Scientists disagree on how to pronounce diplodocustard. Here's your next one. What is the most populous city in Canada? Sarah Pascoe.
Toronto.
Velociraptor.
Yeah.
Is that the right answer? It is the right answer. Velociraptor.
Also a fun one to say.
Velociraptor. It's funny. Sarah chose to say it in a very, very slow way, but that's okay. Velociraptor. Here's your next category. US presidents. What are the pictures and what are the clues? Which grim fairy tale character can spin straw into gold? That is Sarah Pascoe.
Donald Trump. Rapunzel. Donald Rapunzel.
Donald Trumpunzel
Yeah.
is incorrect, I'm afraid. Angela Scanlon.
Donald
Stiltskin.
Trumpelstiltskin.
I'm gonna-
Trumpelstiltskin.
is the correct answer. Donald Trumpelstiltskin. Can't believe it wasn't Trumpunzel. And that is the end of today's House of Games. Very impressive final round there. Rick Edwards, slightly less to the forefront this time.
After the Anna Macaroni debacle.
Yeah, so you went back into your shell there, didn't you?
I did.
Rick, you've won the first 2 shows this week. Have you won the 3rd show as well? Let's take a look. Who has won Wednesday's House of Games? It is Sara Pascoe by 1 point. Angela Scanlon. Oh, look at Rick
Well
Edwards
done.
in 3rd.
Fuming down the end.
Absolutely fuming.
Mighty have fallen. Sara Pascoe, you've won. That means you get to choose a prize.
Okay.
There's a
What's
lamp
that
there.
little thing that's next to the water bottle and the lamp? The two
Binoculars.
binoculars.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, please.
Sara Pascoe, they're yours. House of Games binoculars.
Thank you.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
Now, I think this is going to make quite a big difference to our weekly leaderboard as well. Let's take a look. Where are we with 2 shows to go? Clive Myrie with 6 points, alongside Angela Scanlon, both in 3rd. Very nicely done. Who's next? Rick has 10 points. Sarah, how many points does Sarah have? 10 as well. We have a tie at the top of our leaderboard. Anybody's game. We said it was going to be a competitive week. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you all so much for joining me today as well. We will see you tomorrow on the House of Games. Goodbye.